Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's tutorial I'll show you how I altered these trousers. I'll be doing 3 alterations. I'll be taking in waist, at the back seam there. Second alteration, I'll be taking in inside seams on both legs. Third one, I'll be shortening these trousers to Capri trousers, and as you can see these trousers are way too big for me, and I'll be altering these trousers to fit my body. I have pinned all alterations where I will be altering. So this is the waist, this is how much I'll be taking off on the back seam there, and I have pinned the inside seam. This is how much I'll be taking the inside seam on both legs, and this is the length which I'll be shortening to with a split on each end like it is on the original hem. First, I will take in this back seam. I will unpick this logo label and belt loop first. And I have unpicked the belt loop and the logo label. So it is all there. And next, I will unpick this waistband. I have unpicked the waistband, as you can see here. Next, I'm measuring how much I'll be taking in the back seam. And I'll be taking back seam by 4 centimeters. So next I'll be cutting this waistband where the middle seam is there. So I'm cutting this waistband open like that, removing the pins, and I'll be taking in this waistband by 4 centimeters in total. So it's going to be 2 centimeters in half. So I'm pinning this waistband like that, and I'll be taking in this waistband and I'll be sewing a straight stitch there, 2 centimeters on a fold, and I'll be taking 2 centimeters on a fold here at the back seam. I'll be using this magnet for my 2 centimeter seam allowance. So the waistband is sewed. I'm turning the waistband to the right side and it looks like that on both sides. Next, I'm marking 2 centimeters on the back seam and I will sew straight stitch there. Back seam is sewed now. Next, I'll unpick this original seam. As you can see, I have ironed the back seam and the waistband. It's flat, and next I will sew this waistband and the back seam together. Waistband and back seam is sewed together, looks like that. Next I'll sew this logo back on at the back seam, choosing the right colour green, and looks like this one will be the one. Next I will sew this logo label back on the waistband. Next, I'll sew our top seam there and there. And this is how it looks. Top seam is sewed together, so the waistband is attached to the back there. And this is the right side. Next, I'll sew our top seam on the top there. Next, I'll sew back on this belt loop. And this is how it looks. And here is my finished back seam taken in. I have left the seam allowance just in case if I want to let the back seam out. Next, I'll take in inside seams. I'm pinning marked inside seam, as you can see here on this leg. Next, I'm removing pins from the right side. And here's my inside seam. This is how much I'll be taking in. First, I will unpick this crotch seam. I have unpicked the crotch seam. Next, I'm marking where I will be sewing. Removing the pins. And next, I'm drawing where I'll be sewing, and I'll be sewing there. And here's the sewed seam. Next, I'll sew same seam on another leg. I'm placing both legs together like that. And I'm pinning those legs together where the new seam is, and I'm tracing this new seam on the other leg like that, removing the pins on the other leg where the new seam is, and I will sew other leg same way, and here's the other leg sewed, so both the inside seams are sewed. Next I'll shorten these trousers, and I'm adding 6 centimeters for the hemline. Cutting excess fabric off. On both legs, same amount. And from these cut off fabric pieces, I'll make something else on my next tutorial. So I realized that I have cut the trousers a bit too short, so I'll be reusing this hemline from the cut off fabric. I'm cutting off the hemline 6 centimeters from both legs. I tried on these trousers and decided to take in on both legs by the hemline on the inside leg there. And here's the new seam there and there. Next I will overlock and cut off this excess fabric on both legs, and we'll sew up this catch seam. So I'm overlocking this inside seam on both legs, and here they are. So both legs are overlocked, and the crotch seam is sewed, and this is the other leg, and this is how it looks on the right side. So the inside seams are finished. Next I'll finish sewing the trouser hem, so I'm placing this inside seam to the trouser inside seam, placing both seams together like that, pinning them together so they are aligned, pinning the corners together on both side seams there, and I will sew both edges together all around on both legs, all around there. We'll leave side seam open there, and all around there, and I will leave side seam open there. And this is how it looks. Next I will sew millimeter top stitch on an inside button all along there, and this is how it looks on the wrong side. Next I'm measuring 4.5 centimeters on the outside seam, on a side seam, and I'm removing that original seam there like that. Next I will secure that 4.5 centimeter seam there. So this is secured. Next I will sew split on this side seam. I'm folding this bottom piece to the wrong side like that, and I'll sew straight stitch there. And this is how it looks after I sewed one corner. I'm turning this corner to the right side, using a pin to sharpen the corner. So it looks like that. And I'll repeat same on other side. So other corner is sewed, as you can see here. I'm turning this corner to the right side, using the pin to sharpen the corner, and both corners on the side seam are finished, and this is 4.5 centimeter split. So this is the hemline finished. Next I have to sew the hemline all around there. Next I'm sewing a blind hem on this hemming machine. So the hem is finished on this leg all around. This is how it looks on the wrong side, and this is how it looks on the right side. And here are the splits, all nice and neat, and as you can see, stitching in between there. And I'll repeat same on other leg. So here are the trousers before. As you can see, they're way too big on the waist, on the legs and the length. And here are finished altered trousers. As you can see, they fit me a lot better around the legs and on the waistline and the back seam. They fit me a lot better now, and the length is much better too, and I love the splits. I'm really happy with these alterations. These Capri trousers look amazing, especially with these kitten heels. Love it. On my next tutorial, I'll show you what I make from these cut-off fabric materials, and here's a sneak peek. If you have any questions how I did alterations on these Capri trousers, please comment down below in a comment box. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope it was useful. I will see you next time. Love, Anita.